Hello and welcome back to another video. And in today's video, we are going to be drawing a hand I'm gonna go for 10 minutes. Alright, let's go ahead and get the timer right there. Once that hits like 30, yeah, sure. So what'll it need to be? 41:30? We'll just go for 42. Alright, it is in a position that is kind of like this, the hand that I am drawing. It should be somewhat difficult because of its perspective and fingers, and I'm drawing it bigger, so it should be harder. But it'll be fine. Should be fun. Alright, we'll go ahead and go like that. Get this in here. Alright. Go like this. That's good enough for now. I mean, we're gonna need to actually probably flatten that out a bit. No, hold on. Don't get too focused on the details yet. That's not what you need to worry about. This thumb needs to point more up, but right now we don't need to worry about that. Go ahead and put little bones in for the fingers, because you always forget to do that, and you definitely could use the little bones in the fingers. Alright. Since I am going for 10 minutes, I don't think I'll be shading this. But I mean, depending on if I finish it really fast, I might shade it, but I doubt I'll finish it that fast. So, alright. So we've got boxes that are a little confusing to look at. They're not boxes, they're lines. But this is a hand. Trust me. We're gonna start with... Let's go ahead and start with this finger. Get this right here. Now, we're going to put a break right here in the finger, and then a break right here in the finger, because then it's not the same size. If we put the breaks here and here, yeah, sure. Alright, that's good enough for now. We'll go ahead and make sure that we basically mark that the fingers pointed this way a little bit. Pointed this way. Grab a little circle thing to mark it. Probably could have went a little bit more to the side, but it's fine. We'll go ahead and go a little bit more finger shaped on this one, just because I'm not so sure my capabilities on getting a cylinder perspectived correctly on this, but I think I can copy the reference good enough to basically fake the perspective for now. Alright. Which is something I typically try not to do. I'd like to draw the little bones or whatever and then go off my own bones that I drew. But I want this one to look nice. I want to see if I can make it look really nice. So we're just going to kind of see what we can do. Alright. Well, we're like 3 minutes in. Looks decent. Definitely a little off. I don't exactly know what's wrong with this one, though. So we're just going to leave those little polka dots I put. And then we're going to have to get this finger, which we're going to kind of do the same that we did for this one. Nah, we can add cylinders here, because this isn't really a complex finger. It's not really super detailed or anything. It's just this. But then we're going to need to add some length right here. And, you know, I'm not too sure about the width of these fingers. I'm not so sure. They look a little off, honestly. Alright. What are we gonna do? I don't know. Yeah, it's a little off, but I think it's fine enough to pass for now. But no. We got that. So then we would need to do cylinder. Wait, no, but it'd be cylinder. We're just gonna ignore that and pretend like it's really good for now, and we'll come back to it later. But we should probably raise that bump up. And then let's go ahead and deal with this part. Alright. That's fine. It's not really like super detailed anyways. Now this part, that finger definitely is too long now that I actually pay attention to it, but we will fix it in a moment when we go back to it. Alright, go like that. Now, go like this. We're thinking. Try to make it more hand-shaped. Alright, now we want this thumb more up. It was a decent shape, and I would have liked to just honestly keep it, but if we're trying to go for accurate here, we might as well try and go for accurate the best we can, right? So that means fixing the thumb, even if it was a good thumb, and probably better than I will end up getting. Alright, I always struggle drawing the thumb. I don't know why. Need to practice just drawing thumbs. Alright, erase that. We're already running out of time, but I mean also not like drastically. I think we'll finish before we run out of time. Yeah, that's not good. Alright, hold on. We're trying stuff. I'm trying to give it, basically just give it shapes. Alright, that's actually not that bad. That's not perfect, but we're gonna leave it be because I don't think there's much better than I'm gonna get with that. Alright. However, we are gonna move this finger though, because well that's just not gonna work right there. Alright. So let's go ahead and try to get this sized correctly too. Alright, then go like that, then go like that. Okay, hold on, that's not right? Yeah, that's wrong. That's fine. We're gonna erase it, and we're gonna go from there. We'll make everything line up. Will we actually? I don't know. We're gonna try. But I don't know. I don't like the bottom of the hand, but I also don't know what to do with it, so it's gonna stay as is. Because there's not really much I can do with it as far as I really know. Besides draw it correctly. But obviously we tried and it didn't work. Now we're thinking 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, okay. So this shouldn't be that long then, right? Because like that's the length of my finger. This isn't to scale of my hand, but that's the length of my finger. Huh. I really just don't know, actually. Yeah, I just don't know. Because, like, well, I'm not a professional. I don't know exactly the spaces between these things. Alright, let's go ahead and sharpen this pencil and finish this up, because we've got... we didn't quite make it the 10 minutes, but nobody's gonna tell. Shh. Don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody. Nobody needs to know. Alright, it's sharp enough to poke me. There we go. Alright, this is definitely not gonna be perfect on these knuckles, because I just genuinely don't actually really know what's going on with these knuckles, if I'm being completely honest, but that's fine. I want to get this finger in here. There. That's, this part's bending down a little bit too much. I should not bend it down. It's still bent down, but it's fine. Alright, go like this. And then go like this. There we go. Now, go there. Okay, I could have bent that a little more. And I could throw this out a little more like that. And then I can add the nail. Alright, hold on. Let's actually line this nail up correctly, because that's just not lined up correctly. Okay, that's fine, I guess. It's not necessarily that good. I think the nail before actually looked better. The finger before just looked better. Now we're actually really cutting into overtime. But it's fine. It's not a big deal. Alright. Although it's not like this in the reference, word our nail is up here. Because why the fuck not? Nope, that still looks wrong. That looks even worse, actually. What if I did this? Bent the nail along the finger and just moved on to the next one, because I don't know what's going on with that one anymore. I think this hand looked better in the sketch so far. But also, typically when your drawing looks better in the sketch than the finished line art, that means your sketch was very sloppy. So, well, that's typically what it means. Not always, because sometimes, you just accidentally fuck up the making it line art. Technically, I don't think this even counts as line art, but we're gonna say it does, just for the sake of me using this as an example. Alright. Which I think that's also why a lot of people, don't, just use their sketches as their final piece. Just kind of maybe adjust a couple things in their sketch, and that's it. They just color their sketch. I could try that if I want to do some coloring, which I do. I do want to do some coloring, but I don't know how to color. And I really don't feel like learning how to use the freaking drawing software to do that right now. If you want me to do that, leave a comment, and then I'll have to do it legally. That's how it works. Trust me. I'm bound to the comments. Alright, then go ahead and add this and that, and then just add the thumb. Alright. There we go. Now, okie dokie. That's fine, I guess. Definitely not like perfect or anything, but it's fine. Alright. Perfect. Erase it. And we go like that. And then, I don't know, we'll just add some wrist just so it doesn't look as naked. Even though this isn't exactly, you know, where everything would be. It's fine if this area is a little messy. We went more towards 15 minutes. I'm still going to write 10 minutes because 10 minutes sounds better. No, in the post I'll probably put 15 minutes. I don't know. Bye-bye.